Wait a minute, that's on a VW. Yeah, that's right, I'm back at the shop and here to do a little bit on the Transit. Yeah, there's a few things I want to get finished up before Christmas, so I've taken the opportunity to come over here and, like I say, do a few bits and pieces. One of the main reasons is, first of all, I had to come over this way for paint. And if you've seen my previous videos, you know the workshop's a good hour and a half drive from home, so I figured, you know what, I've got to go over there for paint. I'd have to come back here for the Auto Jumble swap meet on Sunday. It's the last one of the year and I want to do that, so I figured, you know what, let's just stay a few days and just do a few bits on this old girl, because it's been a while since I've done anything, and to be honest I'm feeling a bit guilty. And I do want it finished, and I just need to get it finished. So, obviously she's sat here for a good 4 or 5 months now, so the battery is a little dead, so I need to get that on charge. I need to get the pressure washer out and get all the moss and everything off her. She's looking a bit grimy there. A little bit sorry for herself. And yeah, I want to get... Let's see, I did have a list. I've forgotten it, but I did have a list. And if I have enough time, I don't think I will, but if I have enough time, the other thing I want to do is try not to fall in the water. Yeah, that's that old girl. I think I showed some photographs of that in a previous video. But yeah, that's next year. But I need to get this Jeep. I don't know how well you'll see it in here, but yeah, the old GPW. We need to get something done on this as well. She's 99% of the way there. There was a problem with the dynamo. That is the reason why I have not had my wiring diagram posted, because I need to make sure that it is actually the dynamo and not something that I've done on in the wiring. That needs to be sorted out and tested. Last time we worked on this, we were having issues with the carbs. We have had it running. It does have a borrowed carter on there, so I don't know. If we have time, I might get that done, but I'm not sure. But anyway, got all the tools and everything down there. So it's 3 something, so it's already starting to get dark, so I won't get any of this started till tomorrow. But yeah, I'd like to say I'm full of excitement, but I'm not. I'm just tired. It's been a long, hard year. I've basically since January, I've almost 7 days a week been working on the vehicles, trying to get them finished, and it's nearing the end of the year, and I'm feeling it. So, but yeah, that's basically what I'm going to be up to. old LDV sitting up there. I don't know if you noticed there's a backlight out, so do need to sort that out, and then, like I say, I'll get into this next year. But yeah, that's it for now. I will see you in the morning. Well, it's the next morning, and as usual at the shop, it's raining. Great. So, obviously, got the battery on charge there. It's been on charge overnight, so should be nicely topped off there. Oh, falling over. Okay, let's get this all out of here. And here we go. Oh yeah. Now, ring the thunder. Oh yeah. Not a problem. Anyway, let's get her moved out of here. At last, I've made it around to the door here. God damn, it is just so wet here today. But if you've seen my previous videos, you know that's kind of the norm. So, ended up having to put a toe strap on her because we just sank in the mud. It's obviously, as you can see, it's weird, this doesn't look as big on camera. Yeah, I've had to drag her out there. Yeah, that's where the back wheel was sitting in there. That's anyway, she's out now, so yeah, let's try and figure out a plan of action. Oh no, they've eventually got the van up here. Sun's started to come out, which is good, I guess. Fall over it. So I think what I'm trying to come up with a plan of action, primarily so that I'm not wasting any time. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is, starting here at the front, I'm going to work back. So this is the split charging unit, obviously for the auxiliary battery. Now I've basically wired that in completely all the way up to, where are we at? Here. So I haven't decided yet where I wanted to mount this fellow, so yeah, I want him somewhere away from the heat, but also initially my thought had been to basically just mount him on top of the battery there, but I'm not so sure about that now. Actually, you know what I could do? We could go on top of the fuse box. Now I know you theoretically should mount this to a bulkhead, but I don't really want to drill any more holes, you know. So I'm just looking for somewhere convenient, and right now that seems to be the most convenient place. It's typical. It's been raining all morning. It's taken me ages to get this dragged out because it sank in the mud. And now we've got wind and bright sunlight. Oh, you know, whatever. That's the way these things go. Whatever. That's where these things go. So anyway, I think that's probably a good location. Now these are quite simple. I mean, there's not a lot to them. You basically two connections on it there. One goes to your main battery. The other one goes to your auxiliary battery. I just need to double check on which one is which, I don't remember. And then this one here, which is for that charging LED. I'm not sure, I'll have to have a look at the instructions again, see where that goes, because I do not remember. Come on, focus. Okay, it doesn't want to focus, whatever. And I think that's going to be a decent location, you know. Soon find out if it isn't. Well, it's now the next day. Obviously, cleared some space in the front of the workshop here so I can get the van in, because it's actually quite dry at the minute, but it rained most of yesterday afternoon. It's forecast to rain all day today, so just got the tractors pushed in there, just tidied up, and just got the van in. I need to give her a wash. She's looking very grimy. But I need to concentrate on getting things finished up here. So where I left off yesterday was I was starting to put the actual doodah, the split charging system in. Now I did a little bit of work on that a while back, but I just basically put some of the wiring in. But when I get the hood open and get everything laid out, I'll go over what I've done. So I want to get as much done as I can. Charging system to begin with. The other thing I want to do is I want to get this interior as close to being finished as I can. I've got the wood for the countertop, so I don't have my saws and router and all that with me, so I can't actually get that fitted correctly. But what I can do is I can get the approximate size cut. Other things I want to do is I still want to investigate. There's a little one looking through the window. I want to investigate putting a cabinet up there. I've still got those cabinets that came out of the old caravan. Obviously, all of this needs to be tidied out, and also want to finish off putting the interior lights in here. I have actually invested in it's like a strip light system, and you know, it'll go kind of along there and up around the doors, and you know, if possible as well, I'd like to put the curtains up. You know, just things like that. Get it as close to being done as possible. Plus all of these tools and everything in here, they're all coming back. They're all going back home. Because obviously I need a lot of this working on the VW, so that is the plan. The other thing, if I can, I would like to get the roof rack put on, but I'm not so sure about that at the moment. It's I'll see how the week plays out. Anyway, let's get on with things. Okay, so this is going to be the basic setup. Let me just zoom out. There we go. Anyway, this is going to be the basic setup. We've got the primary power coming from the secondary battery. Well, actually, let's start at the other end. So we have got main power feed coming from the primary battery. That is coming to a 60 amp fuse. This then through the 60 amp fuse, that then goes to the split charging unit. From the split charging unit, this then goes back through another 60 amp fuse, and this connects directly, that one there will connect directly to the secondary fuse box. Now this is the distribution block which gives power to all of the, basically the cabin accessories, refrigerator, interior lights, any entertainment, etc, etc. However, then from the secondary battery, this is the main feed to the fuse box, which will also connect to there. So basically you've got cable to 60 amp fuse to split charger, from split charger back through 60 amp fuse to secondary battery and fuse box. So that's the basic layout. I don't have the fuse box yet. It was supposed to have been here yesterday. It didn't arrive. Now they're saying it's going to be delivered sometime today or tomorrow. So you know, but meanwhile I want to get this part of the harness actually put together and figured out. So everything's going to be mounted inside that fuse box there, and I think I showed it earlier in the video. It's actually bolts onto the battery carrier next to the secondary battery. So, and of course this is probably, I'm just going to probably just screw that to the top of there like that, and it keeps everything together. This cable here, which I couldn't remember what it did, that's actually just a ground, and what it's for is it's for that charging indicator. So yeah, that's basically it. So yeah, let's just get to it. Okay, so there we have all the connections made. I think I've actually changed this up a little bit. Rather than this mounting on top of the actual container, I'm going to mount this inside with these two fuses. They will sit in there, and then the new fuse box, which should be here, like I say, today or tomorrow, that will mount on top. And I don't know, I think that's just a better option. At least, yeah, that seems to be a better option at the moment. So that will mount on top of there, and all of this will go inside, and of course it'll all mount next to the battery. There we go, all nicely mounted into there. I am actually going to use the same system on the VW. Obviously I'm a long way away from doing that yet, but yeah, I'm putting a split circuit. I am putting a auxiliary battery with a split charging system in there as well. So, but for now, yeah, that's ready just to bolt back onto the van. I'll probably put the additional connectors on here first before I put it in though. Just, you know, a little bit more space out here on the bench. So, got that mounted there now, and what will happen is fuse box will sit right on top there. This will go onto the primary power feed into the fuse box, and of course all of the other feeds will come out of it. Now, to actually get power to the fuse box from this battery, I've switched this up a little bit. So obviously that'll sit on there, it'll come round, and these will connect to the fuse box basically all together like that. There'll be another one that comes off the fuse box to the negative, and where's that little one at? This one here will also be connected up to the negative. That's basically so it just gives ground to the LEDs. Well, you know, moving along here. So fuse box and everything is all routed in, it's all cable tied up and everything, zip tied in place. So that's just to connect to the battery. I won't do that until the fuse box is in. The other thing I've been doing though is putting the sender unit in for the aftermarket temperature gauge. Now you may notice I've got an additional cable on here. That is because this is plastic, and this sender unit doesn't have its own ground on, so I've had to put an additional cable on with an eyelet, just so that it has a ground. So that's done. I'll test that out later. Got a vacuum line to hook up to the EGR, and other than a little bit of tidying, some zip ties, pull cables and everything back, we're done under here. What I'm going to do is, I need to put that somewhere safe. Obviously that's for the battery. I'll put him inside shortly. But yeah, what I'm going to do next is, I think I'm going to move inside the cabin here first and just completely tidy all of this out. There's stuff in here that I've got still to go in, and that's where I may focus my efforts this afternoon. Overhead center console, kind of goes up like that somewhere. That's to go in. Obviously the head unit's still to install correctly. That's the reversing camera. That's still to go in. Ignore the hard drive, that's just something I pulled out of an old computer that was laying around here. Next, after that, is I actually need to put the cable in for the doodah, the reversing camera. I need to measure the cable that I've got. I don't know if this one's long enough. It should be, but we all know how should be goes sometimes. So yeah. Other things I've got to do in here, I've got to connect the cable up for the heater control. It's popped off there. That's the cage for the head unit. It got stepped on, unfortunately, but we'll sort that out. It's easy to straighten. And yeah, like I say, it's just a matter of just tidying things in here. That's the actual power cord for the the 240 in here. That I have not tested yet. I still have got some components to install, such as electrical outlets and what have you. But I'm going to concentrate on getting this cabin area done today. It's just after 12, so it's probably going to get dark before I get this all finished. I'm in the workshop. I've got lights, but you know, we'll see how it goes. Oh, we now have the center console, well, the overhead blue door set up. Kind of interior light. We've got map reading light. It's difficult to hold this with two hands, but we've got that light there. And if we open the door, we've got that one there. So once it's installed, we'll be able to take some better photographs of it. But yeah, that's this overhead console anyway. Well, let's see if we can get a better view of this now. There we go. So we've got one small light. And these look really bright on the camera, but they're not as bright as that. And there we've got basically it's a red map reading light. Or just, you know, a light that you can put on while you're driving anyway. And then of course we've got the main cabin light. And that also operates when you open the door. So, nice little bit of OG tech there. Anybody that's old enough, if you're around in the 80s, there was a company out then called Autoplas, and they did a lot of plastic products, center consoles, rear screen, louvers, roof consoles. I mean, they did it all. That's what this is. I was actually in amongst the camper van stuff, the VW, and to be honest, I didn't want to use it in the VW. So it was like, you know what, I'm going to put that in the Transit. And so I did, and there it is, and I'm happy with it. Anyway, now that that's done, it's just a case of, I want to completely tidy this area out next. And then I think I might make a start on the head unit. One thing I do need is these covers here. I've put them somewhere, and I don't know where that somewhere is. I've searched everywhere for them. Oh, there's also still a gap there where the original interior light was. Now, at the moment, I'm just going to put a piece of trim in there. Originally, what my plan had been was I was going to put a screen down there with the rear view camera. But because I am now selling the van, that's just an expense that I'm really not going to go into. The new owner can do that if they want. There's electrical connections up there, and the reason for that is, you know, a couple of $100, and that won't add any value to the price of the van. So, you know, it's additional stuff. I mean, like I say, got this head unit. This was not an inexpensive unit. Yeah, so there is a lot of tech going to be left in here, but that is just one piece that I'm not going to go ahead with. So there's the trim laying over there, that grey piece there. So I'll get that popped in, and then yeah, we're all done there, and we can move on to the next thing. Well, I've got a little bit tidier in there now. Basically just got stuff in there that I need. Also been getting the wood ready for the countertop. That cushion there, that's still to be cut and covered. So is that other one up there to match the ones that are already in there. right now I'm kind of stuck because I need that fuse box for there to just finish everything off up here. Unfortunately, it is still nowhere to be seen. Oh, there's my cell phone. Latest news is it's out for delivery, so it should be here sometime before 9 tonight. But yeah, I'm just wrapping it up there right now. It's getting dark, obviously. It looks way lighter than it is out there. And yeah, I think I am going to call it a day. So we'll get back to this tomorrow. Well, good morning, and here we are again. So, fuse box did arrive sometime last night. Also, the cable for the reverse camera. So, may as well set about and get those installed this morning. Well, we are basically set up at the moment. This is primarily just for a test run, but we are at around about 12.72 volts. So let's give her a start up and let's see what we get out of it. Well, I think it's safe to say it's working. Excellent. That is fantastic. So, I will put together a basic wiring diagram of what I've done here. But right now, I did change my mind about mounting the fuse box on the side, and I have gone with it back on the top. Actually, the lid's just open at the moment, so that's why it's moving around a little bit. What I've got hooked up at the moment is a connection for the interior lights, power to the fridge, and just 12 volt internal power. I do not have fuses in anything yet. I won't be putting these two fuses in either until I'm actually got everything hooked up on the inside. The power fuse is just actually run into the cabin, into the living area, and it's not connected to the fridge or anything yet. I'll do that when I get to do the internals. Same with the actual interior light. That is actually all run in, but I do have some more connections to put in there, so I'm not going to put the fuse in until that's all done. The primary goal of this was get the secondary battery hooked up, get the split charging system hooked up, and take everything from there. What I've got here at the rear, all of these rears are grounds. I do have an additional cable back there going to the negative side of the battery. And yeah, we are there. I'm rather happy with this, so yeah. Well, we do not appear to have an LED there. I'm assuming what is meant to happen is when the fuse is good, you get the LED lighting up to tell you that the fuse is good. But if I stick a test meter on there, let me just spin that around so you can see. So, come on. Yeah, so we do have voltage across the fuse. And we do have voltage coming out of it, so I don't know. I just assumed that that LED would light up to say we had a good fuse, but it isn't. So it doesn't matter. You know what? It's a fuse box. It's everything else on it seems to be working okay. So I'm good with that. Yeah. Now that I've got everything done up the front, I think before I actually get inside the cabin, what I'm going to do is I am going to get the rear camera and everything hooked up. So pop the rear light out. Yeah, so yeah, it's quite simple. This is a 2.4 gigahertz transmitter and electrical connection to the camera to the rear lights. This then transmits the signal up to the head unit, and yeah, so we will see what it works like. How bad could it be? Okay, so I have got the receiver or transceiver actually installed. Got the camera. Camera is on there. It's just one of those license plate, number plate cameras. That plate does need replacing. That's not the correct one. I've just got that there for the time being because that actually holds the frame in. So, got the connections made here. What I've done is this grommet. It's actually like a hard plastic one. I've put a very tight grommet in there to hold the cable quite firmly, but it allows it to slide in and out through the door there. So obviously I've got this all to tidy up. The transceiver, what I've done is I've drilled a hole up on the inner panel there. It's got a grommet in that holds that in place. Basically what I'm trying to do is not have that inside the metal frame of the door somewhere, because the other side, the other part of it will be up under the dashboard, so I want to give it as, you know, a clearer path as possible. When this door's closed, it'll, I don't know if you can see down there, but it'll almost be a direct line to the head unit. All I've got to do now is I've actually got it connected up to the reversing light, so it does get power when it's put into reverse. Then I'll move forward and I'll start working on connecting it to the head unit.
Attention please. This car is backing up.
Okay, so if you can hear me over the reversing
This car is backing
speaker,
up.
we do have power there. So
This car
we
is
basically
backing
completed this side. Let's go and move into the cabin.
Attention, please.
Okay, I've turned that off. So we now know we've got power to here. We've got power to the actual camera itself. I'm not moving any of this wiring yet. I want to move into the head unit now, get everything connected up there, and then test it, make sure everything is working before I go ahead and seal this panel back up again. Well, we have now moved up front. Obviously the head unit is not fitted in correctly. This is one of the reasons why I haven't done it. Plus I still need to run these rear speaker cables. To be honest, I'm not entirely sure where I want to put those yet, so that's why I haven't really ran them anywhere. Had a couple of thoughts, but yeah, I'm still figuring that one out. So speaker cables are basically just dangling down the front at the moment, but that's not why we're here. We are going to get this connected, so it's pretty straightforward. I mean, you've got red is positive, goes to your positive. That's actually the feed from your reversing lights. You've got a negative, and then that basically just plugs into your reversing camera input. So yeah, let's get to it. One thing to note about this, there's the actual receiver there. That's your connection to your head unit for the video signal, but they give you this great big long piece of cable, which is kind of odd given that you'll be connecting it most likely to your head unit anyway. So I could have just shortened that down or brought them both out the same side, but yeah, just an observation. Okay, so it's roughly slid back into place there for the moment. So let's have some ignition and let's stick her into reverse. Well, that is actually a pretty decent picture. That is not bad at all. Then we're back to an ordinary radio. Well, same radio. Don't actually have an antenna connected up to this yet, so. But oh, by Jove, I do believe we're there. So, I can go and button those back doors up now, and I'll also cable manage and everything back there and get it all tidied up. So, yeah. Anyway, I will put links to everything that you see in this video. I don't get any kickbacks off them. I'm not sponsored or anything by any of the companies. These are products that I've researched myself, bought with my own money, so these are my honest opinions of them. But this little 2.4 gigahertz remote unit, I like it. I like it. It works well. So yeah. There's a dog barking again. Anyway, I'm not entirely sure how much footage I've got at this moment, but I think it's quite a bit, so I am actually going to end this video right here, although obviously I'm not finished working on the Transit. But I would just like to take this opportunity to wish everybody a Merry Christmas and have a fantastic New Year. I do hope to have another video out before New Year, and obviously I wasn't expecting to have this one out before Christmas, but hey, there you go, surprise surprise, early Christmas gift. Wind's getting up, go away. Anyway, that's it for now. You know the drill, I've said it many times. So you take care, have a good one, and we will see you soon.